Goku and Vegeta ascend into the realm of gods, while Gohan unlocks his own power that's been dormant for so long. But even with these developments, Beerus is still wondering, what is Broly truly capable of? Can he actually use godly powers, or will he just go berserk if he tries to? What will Broly with divine powers look like? Stick around for that and more in part 9 of What If Broly Was in Vegeta's crew. Let's begin. Naturally, everyone's training does continue, but there's kind of an issue. There's not much real-world experience for everyone. Granted, Gohan on Earth, he did get a real battle. Not that it was too tough for him, but it still was some sort of real experience. As for Goku, Vegeta, and of course Broly, well, they haven't had a real fight in a while. I mean, they can spar with Beerus from time to time, as well as with each other. But ever since that battle between Broly and Gohan, there hasn't been a true fight for them. A fight with actual stakes to push them to new heights. A fight where they can display their full ability to somebody else, instead of fighting someone who they already know so well. But that opportunity arises. The Universe 6 tournament is set in motion. So, what is the team going to look like here? Well, I think it's pretty obvious. Goku, Vegeta, and Broly, of course, as well as Gohan and Piccolo. Right from the get-go, the team's pretty stacked, but at least they'll be able to test their abilities fully here, especially for Broly, who's been waiting so long for an actual fight to practice his powers with. He's grown significantly since we've last seen him, and before the tournament, they even go into the Room of Spirit and Time briefly, allowing Broly to grow even further, shocking Goku and Vegeta beyond belief. Broly's elated. He can't wait to show everybody else what he's been doing. But things don't really go as planned. Broly is set up to go first for the team, which isn't an issue because that means he's going to get to fight right away, until he realizes that Universe 6's team isn't nearly on the level of theirs. But Tamo's defeated, Frost is defeated, and he doesn't even get to poison Broly. Vegeta's defeated, and the strange part is Broly doesn't even need to insult him to get him to leave the ring. His brute strength alone actually forces Vegeta out, which completely dumbfounds Universe 6. He's up against Cabba, and he's interested to see another Saiyan, but the fight is very short as well. Champa's panicking at first, but then Hit's up, and he's confident. Hit should be able to win this fight. He thought his other fighters were strong, but clearly they're not on the level of Broly. But Hit, he's definitely going to be able to win here. There's no way around it. The thing is, Broly hasn't even transformed yet. He goes into Super Saiyan now against Hit, the normal Super Saiyan by the way, and this is enough to create a challenge for Hit. But once Hit starts using more of his power, the fight becomes a lot more even. Alright, there's still one more thing that Broly has. Well, actually two, but one here that he needs to use. And he goes into his full power form. This is the first time he actually gets to fight while using it. Of course, he's trained with it and has sparred with it, but this is the first real fight that he's using it in. A powerful and ominous green glow surrounds the entire area. Broly bulks up considerably, and everyone in Universe 6 is taken aback. This guy's a monster. Well, he looks like one, but he's not like he was before when he used his full power. He has complete control over this, and he's utilizing Godly Ki while in it. That allows him to get such control over this. But this isn't a Super Saiyan God form or whatever. This is just his normal full power. And he comments on that, which is pretty weird for Hit. Is he implying he has more power? Broly doesn't answer that question, and instead goes right into the battle. His speed and strength absolutely shock Hit, and even with time skip, Hit can't win here. But he could tell, Broly's holding back, and he wants to fight Broly again. He feels like that would be a great challenge, especially for him honing his abilities. That might be a good battle between the two of them. It would definitely be mutually beneficial. And this also intrigues Beerus. What was Broly holding back? If Hit was saying it, it must mean something. And he never answered that question about having a form or power beyond this one. Beerus can sense the God Ki within Broly. It's overflowing. He can't hide it. And with that much Godly Ki, he has to have Super Saiyan God or something like that. What's Broly hiding from him? What did he unlock in the Room of Spirit and Time? Following the Universe 6 tournament, there's no time traveler, and Zamasu never actually acts. Hit messing with time does kind of piss him off, but there's nothing to send him over the edge. He didn't see a God form utilized, and there's no other timelines that have been messed with. But instead of the Goku Black Arc, a few things are going to happen differently here. Let's start back on Beerus' planet. Now, Beerus is kind of intrigued. He really wants to know what Broly has, and Broly tells Beerus flat out. He unlocked a new power, and he was waiting to use it. He wanted to use it during this tournament, but it was overkill, and he wasn't sure if he can control the power yet. What, he's going to lose control again? No, not because of that. He doesn't go berserk in this form. It's just so powerful that, well, he was worried about killing somebody on accident. Even somebody like Hit. And Beerus chuckles. It's that powerful? Even so powerful that he won't want to show Beerus? And Broly looks down, not responding to this. And this actually kind of annoys Beerus a bit. Does Broly think he's stronger than Beerus by now? And he tells Broly, if this is true, he needs to see that power immediately. This is what he's wanted for so long. Why is Broly hiding it? But Broly says he needs a proper test first. Before he shows it to Beerus, he wants to make sure it's perfect. He needs to know that it'll be worthy to fight him. And Beerus calms down a bit. He sees what Broly means. He wants some real practice with it. He hasn't really practiced with it too much because it's just so strong that there's no one to fight. But there is somebody. There's Hit. And Broly's confused, but he beat Hit so easily. Hit was holding back though, and Beerus comments, he is an assassin after all. He was holding back with so many techniques because he didn't want to accidentally kill Broly either. For all they know, Hit could be on the level of that power. Broly honestly kind of doubts it, but he'll fight Hit if that's what it takes. But how is that going to be arranged? He's in a complete other universe. And Beerus says he could pull some strings. I mean, Champa is the god of destruction in that universe, and it is his brother. It won't be too hard to contact him and get Hit to come here. Plus, Hit is an assassin after all. All they're going to need to do is pay him at worst. A fight is arranged, and Champa's actually really interested to see this. He knew Hit was holding back too, but apparently this is an all-out battle at this point. He's told that Hit can do whatever he wants here. He's completely unrestrained. And they're not worried because in the event that somebody does die, Whis or Vados would simply rewind time. Immediately after it happens too, so they don't have to rewind too much. And Broly's actually kind of nervous. If Hit is that powerful that he might die, he doesn't know what to expect from this fight. But it does motivate him. It pushes him to actually use his full power. He knows he can't hold back here because this is a true death battle. Hit arrives on Beerus' planet. Glad to see Broly again. He didn't even take payment for this because he actually did want to fight Broly at his full strength. It's valuable enough to fight somebody that strong. It'll help him hone his skills further. Hit's looking forward to it, as is Broly. Even though he is a bit nervous because he doesn't really feel right killing Hit if it comes down to that. Goku and Vegeta watch on too. These two are so far beyond them. They actually did see Broly's power briefly, and if nothing is held back here, they're really intrigued to see what's going to go on. Hit assumes a battle stance, and so does Broly, with Broly powering up, going into his full power. Hit's interested to see that, but he realizes Broly isn't holding back. Well, he is, but he's not holding back to try and help Hit. He wants to gauge Hit's strength. They're starting from where they left off in the tournament. Hit starts using more complex techniques with warping time. Thanks to pure progress, he has grown stronger, and his time abilities have grown stronger as well. He's able to time skip further, and as soon as Broly charges at him, Hit's actually able to freeze Broly in place. As Broly's frozen and tries to break free, Hit's able to launch a flurry of attacks. He's wasting no time, and these attacks are painful. And there's no wasted movements either. The precision and power of these attacks, everything has a purpose. Goku and Vegeta take note of this attacking style as well. No wasted movements, purposeful attacks. It's kind of like what Whis is trying to teach them. But more importantly, they wonder how Broly's going to get out of this. He is able to break free of this, sustaining some injury from Hit, and Hit's surprised. Any other person would have definitely died from that, but Broly is still standing, and he's in pretty good condition considering the attacks that he just took. But freezing Broly took a lot out of Hit. He can't use it again, but he wanted to use it early on so he can get an advantage. Broly starts attacking Hit more and more, but it's hard to hit him. His time skip has grown since they last fought, and Hit's either able to parry his attacks or dodge them completely. But in terms of strength, he's not too far ahead. It's mainly because he gave Broly a handicap, and Broly can close this gap. And Hit tells him, use the power he was holding back. Hit doesn't care what happens. And Hit powers up more, much to Broly's surprise. Broly jumps back. As Hit begins charging ki, so does Broly. Beerus' entire planet rumbles. Even Champa and Beerus are taken aback, with Whis and Vados watching on curiously. Goku smiles, looking on as Broly powers up. And Vegeta's a bit concerned, but he knows that this will work. They've seen Broly use it and know he won't lose control here. The green flames surrounding Broly turn red, as a pillar of fiery ki shoots up. The power of a Super Saiyan God flows through him, but something strange happens with it. In the pillar of ki, they can see a silhouette of Broly ascending upwards. The pillar of ki is drawn closer and closer to him as the flames shift from red back to green. And then, everything goes calm. All the ki is contained within him, barely escaping, with him only being surrounded by a subtle aura. And he doesn't look like a Super Saiyan God at all. He looks different. Well, not too different. It looks like his full power form, but his hair is much longer. And there's a bluish tint to him as well. Slowly, he ascends downwards. This is the power of his rage and full potential, controlled by the tranquility of a Super Saiyan God, with both working together in harmony. This is simply what he calls God Broly. In terms of this what if, it is an original form, but as you can see by the design, it is taken from the God Broly form from the video games. At least that's something that Z Broly had. But here, you've already heard the explanation. Broly has no Super Saiyan Blue form, and he completely skips Super Saiyan God. This is essentially that, his full power with the power of godly ki. Just like he has his own unique full power version of Super Saiyan, this is essentially his Super Saiyan Blue, his full power form with the power of a god. From a range, Hit tries to launch a full power attack. He turns into a streak of light as he flies across the planet, utilizing time skip as he attacks, attacking so quickly that no one else can see it. Well, besides Beerus and Whis. And his attacks all land, but Broly simply stands there. He doesn't flinch, he doesn't move at all. As he floats there, his eyes suddenly dart towards Hit, and for the first time in a while, Hit feels fear. Broly's head slowly turns towards him. He tells Hit, "Call the fight now." Hit's nervous, but he smirks. It's a battle to the death, and he's not going to give up. Broly still doesn't really want to do this, but if this is how the fight's supposed to end, then so be it. And everyone watching just sees Hit suddenly fly away. They feel a massive shockwave. Broly maneuvered around Hit and kicked him so quickly that no one could even see Broly's movements, just Hit being flung across the planet. And before he hits the surface, Broly's already there to meet him. Goku and Vegeta are amazed. They didn't see Broly move at all. He just appeared there. Within that fraction of a second, Hit was flung onto the surface of the planet and meets a blast from Broly that completely disintegrates him. It was a fun battle, and he gave Hit a chance to concede. Whis restores time by a few seconds, and Hit is brought back. Right to the moment before Broly attacks him. He's confused. What happened? He lost, and he died, all within a single second after Broly transformed, without any effort at all. And Broly's about to power down, but then Beerus floats up. Great, he's got a test of his power. Now Beerus wants to fight him. He doesn't want to wait any longer, and he says Champa and Hit could watch. Broly tries to get a word in, but before he can, Beerus immediately attacks him at full power. And Broly feels a strange thing surrounding him. There's a force field. Whis gave him a force field so he could breathe in space. They're not going to be held back by the limitations of this planet. Goku and Vegeta's jaws drop. They thought the fight with Hit was amazing, but now they're seeing Beerus use more and more of his power. Broly stops himself after taking a punch from Beerus. He still doesn't get to test his power fully yet, but Beerus is impatient. They need to fight here and now. Broly can at least give him that. Broly takes a deep breath, closes his eyes, and then breathes out. He tells Beerus he just hopes he doesn't disappoint him. The two launch towards each other. In the sky, a purple beam of light clashes with a green beam of light, with a shockwave so powerful that it completely disintegrates everything in the sky and below it. The planets around them are destroyed. Goku, Vegeta, Hit, and Champa then find themselves in a bubble alongside Whis and Vados. They expect this planet to be destroyed by this battle. Beerus didn't want anything held back, and just in case, this will protect them. But Champa frees himself from the shield. He doesn't need this. He wants to get the full experience. The two clash again. This might be a pretty short fight because Whis and Vados will need some time to rewind everything, and Beerus tells Broly, hold no power back. They're kinda limited here. He's worried by the destruction they already caused, but Beerus assures Broly, they're safe. Goku and Vegeta are safe, and this planet, it'll be restored. He doesn't care about it. He just cares about the battle. Beerus launches towards Broly once more, and Broly's barely able to block the attack. He feels it ring throughout his entire body. Beerus chuckles. This is half of his power. Can Broly handle it? Even though it's not his full strength, it would still be very impressive for him to keep up with this. The fight starts picking up the pace, so quickly that even Hit, Goku, and Vegeta can't see what's going on. They're just moving so quickly. They continue the clash, and the planet gets more and more destroyed, as well as everything else around it. They're zipping around beyond the speed of light. Many times beyond it, actually. Just from the shockwaves of their collisions alone, the planet is completely disintegrated, and the entire realm in which the planet exists is shaking. Beerus tells Broly. He takes back what he said. There needs to be some limit to this, which is why he's only at 50% right now. Although, even this is kind of overkill. If they keep clashing at this speed, the entire universe will be destroyed. So they're just gonna fight until Broly taps out. And Broly's confused by this statement. That means Beerus thinks he could win. And Beerus says he doesn't think he can win. He knows he will. Broly's powerful, and he's enjoying this fight so far. But Broly still has a long way to go. The two continue clashing, zipping around the universe together. Broly's able to steer Beerus clear of any planets where he senses even a fraction of energy, just to make sure their collisions don't destroy any inhabited planets. Entire galaxies are eradicated, just from their movements alone, not even them clashing. They continue exchanging blows across the universe, as Whis and Vados travel along keeping up. And in the bubble they're traveling in, the immense speed at which they're traveling just flings them to the back of this bubble. Broly tries to use a beam attack, but Beerus grabs his hand. As annoying as it is, he can't use that. It still might destroy the universe, especially if it's something at full power that Beerus is going to have to contend with. So, they resort to melee attacks still, and Beerus begins speeding up, rapidly. Broly sees purple streaks of light surrounding him, and that's because Beerus is moving so fast that Broly can't register it anymore. He feels a punch to the right side of his face, a kick to the left side of his hip, a punch to his back, a kick to his side. He's being attacked by Beerus rapidly from all angles, and then Beerus appears above him, slamming Broly downwards into the void of space, with Broly being knocked completely unconscious. And Beerus stands there, powering up as he screams. He's elated. That was an awesome battle, just what he needed. The destruction they caused was immense, to say the least. But Vados then rewinds time a little bit, so everything is restored, and Beerus commends Broly. Even though he didn't win, it still was a really fun battle, and it was impressive to see that Broly was able to steer them clear of any inhabited planets. He was thinking so sharply during battle, enough to do that, and he didn't disappoint Beerus. The opposite, actually. Beerus is impressed, and he can't wait to see where Broly goes in the future. Soon enough, they'll have a full power battle that's actually evenly matched. One where Beerus can use 100% of his power. Even though time was rewinded, there still are consequences to this battle. It was rewinded to right before the battle started, so Broly and Beerus' full powers are still sensed around the universe. It can be sensed all the way from Earth, and for anybody else who could sense Ki, they feel the strength, including a planet called Syria. The powers of Broly and Beerus are so immense that they even reach over here, across realms and probably even throughout the multiverse. But primarily, here, in Universe 7, there's one remaining Cerealian who can actually sense this power, and he's paralyzed with fear. This strength, what is it? Who is it? It has him concerned. Is that Frieza? Or maybe it's someone else. He doesn't know for sure, but he's terrified. But maybe there's a way to act on this, and this is where we'll leave off for now. So, what'd you guys think about this part? What do you think's gonna happen next? If you liked the video, be sure to drop a like. Be sure to subscribe too if you haven't already, hitting that bell icon so you're notified about any future videos. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on my next video.